Welcome! I'm going to do something I don't normally do and tell you right out the gate that I hated JCB Pioneer Mars. I hated it so much and found it offensive to the medium of video games. So if you are here to find out if you should buy this game, I'm here to tell you, no! Please don't do that. Spend your money and time on literally anything else. So if that's all you were here for, I hope you have a great day. See you later. Thanks for stopping by. Drop a like and smash that subscribe button. Now, the rest of you that showed up to watch me suffer, I'll see you monsters after the intro. Welcome to Random Game Reviews. I put every game in the PlayStation Store into a spreadsheet and have my Discord AI chatbot pal / glorified random number generator Woodlebot tell me which games I will play and review. This time, Woodlebot saw fit to assign me JCB Pioneer Mars. JCB Pioneer Mars is set in the year 2067 and is incredibly optimistic about human progress over the next several decades, pitching such possibilities as guns that shoot nanobots to repair structures, and one lone contractor being able to build an entire Mars base by himself. And with all that imagination, it's crazy that developer Atomicon couldn't imagine a game that's fun to play. Before I start reviewing this game, a quick disclaimer that I fully gave up at 2 hours of playtime. Not because it's hard, not because it's not my kind of game, but because it was a joyless slog and I couldn't bear the thought of playing it for a single minute longer. But I paid $28 for JCB Pioneer Mars, so I'll be damned if I don't get a video out of it. The point of JCB Pioneer Mars is to set up and manage a space colony by creating equipment and structures to manufacture oxygen, food, and water, as well as build facilities from which to research the planet. The gameplay loop is this: get a quest to create a structure, hop in your trademarked JCB digger vehicle, cruise around scanning for resource holes to dig in, press dig, angrily manage your limited inventory, avoid lame environmental hazards, and then toss your resources at the plot where you staged your new building. In the middle of all that, you're expected to manage your various gauges as to not break work safety guidelines by dying humanity's loneliest death on a distant work site all by yourself. I'll dig into all of these elements shortly, but first, let's talk about how this is a fully branded game, and that the brand in question is a construction and agriculture heavy equipment manufacturing company. At first, this set my imagination on fire, because I like to think about a marketing executive sitting in their office at JCB, pulling overtime trying to come up with the next way to get the JCB brand name out there. Their trash bin is full of crumpled up paper balls containing their ideas that just weren't revolutionary enough. They gaze up at the starry night sky, and suddenly it hits them. The next frontier for JCB isn't here on this planet with machines that dig our boring old Earth dirt. The future is out there in the solar system, with digging machines that excavate exotic alien dirt. They call an all-hands-on-deck meeting, and the board of directors quickly realize that the only way to turn this dream into reality is to get the word out to the youth about JCB's spacefaring future through the only mode of communication they understand: video games. In reality, however, a game company wanted to make a game about space diggers, and for some dumb reason thought it would be cool to use a real company and create facsimiles of their vehicle designs. This fact makes everything I'm about to talk about much less forgivable. For starters, it's a game about space diggers, and you don't even get to f***ing dig. When hunting for resources, you find these weird puddles in the ground that contain a mixture of resources that you have a certain percentage chance of pulling, which makes resource gathering the world's least exciting gacha game. So you roll up to the gacha pit, engage your parking brake, because immersion, and then select dig mode. And then, instead of getting to operate the digging arm, which is, the fun part about operating heavy machinery, you just click where you want to dig and then you get a random collection of bits. Once you get your bits, that's when the true struggle begins. You have to juggle so many different items and resources, and your storage capacity in your suit and vehicle is so laughably small that swapping resources between storages is a colossal pain. I can collect a small smattering of resources before I'm at capacity and have to drive back to base, which can be kind of galling when I needed zinc, but it took me 20 excruciating minutes to track down a zinc hole. I get that it's more realistic if you can't carry massive amounts of resources, but since the developer took massive liberties regarding realism when it comes to things like electric dust devils, meteors not damaging your vehicle, and basic physics, I feel like they could have just let me haul more shit around on a single trip. Now, if you need to upgrade your shit hauling capacity, you can spend resources to upgrade pretty much everything. Seriously, there's too much stuff you can upgrade. Multiple stats on multiple vehicles, spacesuit stats, base stats, it's just a daunting amount of stats to have to worry about, and this turned me off pretty instantly. For example, the separate stats you can upgrade for your vehicle have 10 upgrade levels each. How many trips to the zinc hole do I have to embark on to make this process less tedious? In most games, upgrading stuff is awesome and it makes you feel really good. But in JCB Pioneer Mars, the presentation is completely bare bones with nothing to mark occasions where you've accomplished anything. I built my first oxygen converter and I was quietly given some resources, and then it's just me, JCB's saddest employee, standing by myself in this godforsaken Martian satellite office. This speaks to the biggest overall problem facing the game. Nothing you do is even remotely fun or rewarding. Driving around the planet is okay, but there's no attention paid to the basic physics of Mars, so the weight of heavy machinery is made irrelevant when your traction on the planet's surface more closely simulates what it would be like to drive on ice. I'm not a Marsologist or anything, but that seems a little off. Also, you can pretty much just roll and bounce around the planet like a baby gorilla with no consequence. Dealing with the harsh Martian environment should be exciting, but these threats that appear in the top left corner of your screen are empty threats. Very little seems to damage your vehicle in any noticeable way, be it these dust devil things, or meteors, or poorly rendered toxic clouds. Again, I'm not an expert, but as far as I know, there aren't roaming toxic gas clouds on Mars. Even managing the base could be fun if implemented well, but the gameplay priority is not in management, it's in resource collection. Base management is basically just requisitioning a list of resources you yourself need to collect. If I'm managing the construction of a colony, I want to feel like the powerful overseer, not the DoorDash driver who has to go and pick up the order. I'm my own boss, and I hate it. Basically, there's a fair amount to do in JCB Pioneer Mars, and I don't want to do any of it. The developer gave me a list of space chores to do, like go fix the space barn and fill up my mineral pail at the zinc hole, all while providing a stunning lack of explanation or tutorial on how to do anything. A game like this could possibly be salvaged by graphics, and to be fair, some of the assets in this game do look good. The back of your loyal JCB employee, the vehicles, the equipment, but most things on the planet itself look like shit. There are weak textures throughout, storm effects that clip through the environment. Pretty much every environmental effect looks bad. On top of that, the game appears to always be vibrating and shuddering, making it truly unpleasant to look at. And all of this graphical mediocrity is paired with a thin and unpleasant sound design. There's so many more granular things I can go into, like why doesn't the HAB unit have a bed? Why is 3D printing material so boring? And how did my equipment end up in an underground lava tube? But at risk of just needlessly beating an already very dead horse, I'll just say that this is the 35th random game that I've reviewed for this channel, and JCB Pioneer Mars is the first time that the RNG has truly defeated me. I've never in my life played a game that felt like it was so maliciously wasting my time. I don't even care about turning in a thorough review, I just want it to stop. It's such a shame too, because there's so much potential with these kinds of space games. There are themes of discovery, adventure, and loneliness that JCB Pioneer Mars doesn't even attempt to touch on. There is no antagonist, not even nature itself. And worst of all, there are no personal stakes. I crashed on the planet, sure, and that's an exciting event, but what compels me to complete this base aside from perhaps a stunning level of loyalty to JCB corporate culture? If you tell me to do a bunch of tedious chores, but don't give me a reason to want to do them, I'm not gonna wanna f***ing do them. I feel like this is video game design 101. Even if the developer created something that attached me to Earth, the game could be mildly interesting. What if I could talk to my superiors back home, or my family, instead of an emotionless AI? If they even threw me the tiniest bone and put me in the shoes of a character that had the grit, drive, and determination to get out of their JCB branded habitation unit, run over to their JCB branded garage, hop in their JCB branded vehicle, drive out into the unknown, and mine a zinc hole for the future of humanity, you probably could solicit some investment from me. But instead, I pilot a bland automaton across several square kilometers of desolate tedium. The description for JCB Pioneer Mars ascribes a lot of different genres to the game. Survival, simulation, adventure, strategy, but I think the genre I experience in gaming that's the most fitting is games that cost $28 and shouldn't. When I started this cursed experience, I noticed there's a permadeath survival mode, which I thought nobody would want to play, but now I understand why I should have picked it. So I could die and have any evidence that I ever played this game permanently erased. It's time to answer the question, Would I play this game if I were not destined to do so? For JCB Pioneer Mars, the answer is a no so deep and resounding that you can hear it all the way on Mars. I know I went hard on this game, but it was essentially a soulless exercise in corporate branding, so I'm at peace with that. There is nothing rewarding on offer here, graphically or mechanically. It's a game that attempted to be a space survival game, a base management game, and a heavy machinery operation simulator, and somehow managed to be none of those things. But the thing I resent most about JCB Pioneer Mars is that I don't really like roasting games because they're really hard to make. Why did you make me do this, Atomicon? That does it for this episode. A quick hello to all the new people who found their way here from the Trackmania video. Consider leaving a like and comment to help feed this video to the algorithm as well. Until next time, update your resume so you don't end up mining a zinc hole for JCB, and I'll see you all soon on Random Game Reviews. A sincere and loving thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon. In channel news, Random Game Reviews has surpassed 3,000 subscribers. I love a good milestone. Thanks everyone for watching, especially you amazing people who watched to the end of the credits. Identify yourself by leaving a comment containing the phrase "hot garbage" so I can individually express my appreciation.